Yeah, Rap Radar Podcast, Elliot Wilson.
My name is B-Dot.
B-Dot, what's up, baby?
Feeling good, Elliot.
We got the queen here, baby.
The queen's in the building.
Hello.
Queen Naija.
Hi.
Hi.
I like how y'all just bounced off each other like that.
Yeah, we're doing this for a while.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like how you bounced into this trend. After the Butterflies, what's going on? You said, forget us, album talk, whatever. I'm about to lace the people, give them some music.
Yeah.
We can't close this year out without some new music, right?
Yeah. I was going to drop an album. Well, the beginning of this year, I was like, I'm for sure dropping an album. But from the paperwork and all that, the producers and lawyers, like from it taking so long, I was like, I can't wait. I'm going to just drop this as an EP. And I left a couple songs off because it would have been an album if I would have kept them on there.
It feels like, I mean, it's hard now in this world. Like, what's the EP? I call them projects. I feel like but it feels like a full project. It doesn't feel like an appetizer. It feels like its own full course meal.
So you listened to it?
I did, of course.
Of course we did.
Okay. Some people, I go do interviews and they just like,
We hate those people.
Okay.
And
Love
I know
it.
Fading Away, the opener on the track, is one of your favorite records. Like, what resonates with that? Why
You did your research. I like that. Why is it one of my, well, it's very like vulnerable. I feel like when I listen to the song, I feel exactly like where I was in that moment when I was writing it. When I said laying next to you while you were asleep, I was actually laying next to him while he was asleep. And
Real life.
Yeah, it was like real life. And I like most of the songs that I do when they're like completely transparent and I'm not adding or subtracting anything. They just resonate with me the most.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be a common theme of like you tackling relationships and also showing your kind of strength and resilience throughout that. Is that a common thing you think you kind of land on as a writer?
Pretty much. I mean, people get tired of it. They're like, why are you always writing about the same stuff? But it's kind of like, I mean, that's the kind of artist I am. I write about love and heartbreak and like really love in all aspects, to be honest. So in this particular project, it was me like bracing myself while embracing myself. So like I was pretty much preparing myself to have like another failed public relationship. And it was like gonna be embarrassing, but I was like, fine, I gotta do it. Like this time I'm not gonna go to a different man or get in another relationship. I'm just gonna have to face it and love myself. And so that's
self-love.
What self-love,
right.
Track 2.
You have 2 songs, Butterflies and Butterflies 2 in the past. Did those songs serve as like inspiration for this project?
Yeah, they do, because like I wrote those songs. Well, the first Butterflies I wrote that when I was like freshly falling in love with my current partner. And like when I say the feeling it was just so new and fresh, especially coming from like a toxic relationship. And then Butterflies Part 2, 2 years later, I wrote that song and I was still in a very like great space. It had been some ups and downs or whatever, but like, I was in a good space. So I feel like, and then I feel like I am a butterfly. I don't know. I love butterflies, and I love like the story of them and like how they grow and everything. And so the reason why I named this, because I thought it was clever after the butterflies, kind of like after the honeymoon phase or after like when stuff start hitting the fan and stuff start getting a little ugly. And that's what relationships are. It's like good, bad, and ugly.
The challenging times.
Yeah. So that's what I wrote about.
I mean, the first album, Misunderstood, you released during COVID and you weren't able to promote it. So this time around, do you feel like you've been redeemed?
I mean, it's not an album, so it's not as much pressure around it, but I am doing I'm able to be out and do interviews and things like this about it that I didn't get to do in COVID. I like the feeling better of being around. So I did like a little run in LA, and then I'm gonna do one in New York and, here. So I feel like I redeemed myself.
Feel redeemed.
Yeah.
What was the vision of picking these songs for this project in your mind?
Well, they were all the songs that I had. I mean, I had more music, but it just it didn't align with the story of the After the Butterflies.
The theme,
but I did, when it was gonna be an album, the whole what's it called?
Track list?
Yeah, the track list, the order of it was going to be different, but I had to rearrange it or whatever. Actually, Fading Away was going to be very like late in the project.
Oh wow.
But I made it number one.
I like that.
Yeah, I made it number one because it was just it was supposed to be an interlude, but you know, it sounds like intro-y. So I just made the first one.
Right. And even down to Soul Tide, I just feel like it has a sort of anchor to it. Like,
yeah, I had it ended beautifully always. Yeah. I feel like that's a very pretty song. I love pretty melodies and stuff like that. So
cool. And you got some pretty voices on there. You got Monica. I know you grew up listening to Monica.
Yeah, I love her.
So how much of a full circle moment was it for you to have her on the album?
Super full circle, like big full circle. Because yeah, like I grew up listening to that stuff, but it was because my mom did. So like she's closer to, of course, like my mom's age, but I feel, and she's a legend, like in my eyes, you know. So it is a full circle moment when people like Monica are just openly willing to hop on a track, and I don't have to tug and pull. And like people like Mary J. Blige sharing the stage with me.
Yeah.
And Babyface put me on the album. So like I be feeling like, dang, I must really, you know, they must really see something in me. So yeah, super full circle.
But you broken barriers. Like I remember I saw some New York Times 2018. They said you're the first soul star of the social media generation.
Yeah, they call me that.
Like how does that land with you? Like how does that make you feel when you?
It makes me feel like a pioneer. You know, like I started, you know, just vlogging myself on YouTube. And not that I ever really wanted to do that in the first place. I just did it because I was broke. But yeah, I mean, it feels good to say I'm the first in something. I know Soulja Boy can't. So no, let me not have him come for me. But
what was the motivation? Like you said, you was broke, but what made you think that let me share some stuff on YouTube and like have that courageous step to start sharing your life with? It
wasn't my idea. I'm gonna get a credit to my ex for that. I'm gonna give, because he's the one that really wanted to be famous and stuff like that. And he was like, you gotta. We was on Section 8 and like we had a child and everything. And I really just didn't care about being in front of the camera. I mean, I've done American Idol or whatever, and that was that. That was more for singing. But he was the one that was like, let's get on YouTube or whatever. And I was all right with it. But my personality, people naturally gravitated towards me because I didn't know how to be like have a switch. I was just always myself on social media, and they felt like they just could relate to me so much. And even more so when I made my own channel and I was able to show them more of Queen and not just Queen being, in a relationship. So it was more so his fault, the reason why I got on, and just being broke, really.
It feels like you had a watershed moment 5 years ago in Times Square. When you caused that riot.
Yeah, that was crazy. I never thought something like that would happen. That was actually scary. I was actually pregnant. So they had to put me on their shoulders and stuff and get me to the car, and people was getting trampled on. It was scary.
Wow.
I don't like stuff like that. But there were a couple videos on the internet. It actually made the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was saying, who is that with the blonde wig? And they thought it was Cardi B or like Nicki
Minaj, yeah.
I was like, that was crazy.
Do you feel like that was like your breakout moment? When you put the world on notice?
Yeah, I would say.
Right.
I would say, because that's when I was like, dang, people actually, I got a lot of love in New York too. So shout out to them.
Shout out to New York.
We're the New Yorkers, man. We also go to Utah sometimes. We went to Utah to see this guy, Youngboy. We did an interview with him this year. Did very well for us. But I thought it was so dope that you had the song with him and you said, I'm going to Utah. We got to get this fool in the video.
Yeah.
We got to get it done. No fake love.
For sure. Yeah, I had to go there. I just felt like, well, first of all, that song, it was supposed to be released summer 2022. So I was like, if I'm going to put this song out this late next year in August, like I at least have to have something. So like I wanted to have him in the same screen with me. I know a lot of people, he did like things on green screen and with other artists, and they did it elsewhere. But I wanted to be there with him, and I think it was I think it was fire. He was great to work with. Right. I was scared at first.
I was scared at first too.
I was scared.
He's a complex young man, but I think he's a good heart.
I think he do too. Yeah.
Why do you think YB was like the right voice for that song?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest because I'm a transparent person. It was a few people, a few rappers that I had reached out to, and a couple of them had me running around, just like giving me the run around. I ain't gonna say no names, but Youngboy, I actually, someone from my labels recommended him, and I was like, dang, I don't know how that would go because he seemed like such a
Guarded,
I don't know how. Yeah, I was like, how could he be on this sweet song and like how could we mesh together? But he really surprised me when he sent me. Actually, he was the first person to like get on the track.
Jump on the track.
And yeah, and I really appreciated that because to be honest, he streams very, very high. And I didn't expect for him to get back, and then he sent his verse back the next day. So I was like, what the hell? Like I didn't know why or whatever, but he sounded really good. And he said, is there anything you want me to change? And I was like, yeah. I was like, dude, like I kind of told him to do the pre-hook or something like me, the Tupac sample. When I was like, I want tonight, I wanted him to do the same thing. So he changed it to that, and I think that it meshed together really well.
Right.
Dope.
Yeah.
You said he didn't even charge you too, right?
He didn't.
Wow.
Charge
And
us to
I
the
think
game.
that's crazy. And y'all promise ain't nothing happened. I promise nothing happened. He just chose not to charge me. And
That's
one of the things he
respect.
said to me was, I don't know why, but he was like, I need you more than you need me. I'm like, what you mean? I need you more than you need me.
Right.
But I'm glad that it was mutual and like we were able to help each other out.
Yeah, do all the security clearance and stuff like that too.
Yeah, it was easy peasy.
Nice. Was this like a continuation of the Jeezy record? Because you had Fake Love with him on TM 104. Now you have No Fake Love.
I didn't think about that. No, it wasn't
Oh,
a
okay.
continuation, but wow. I didn't think about it that way.
No.
But I know you did songs with like Benny the Butcher, Fabio. Like I saw something you said you like being like you like getting on like the Thug records.
I do. Because I just feel like I'm like the complete opposite. Like, and I like to see the fusion or hear the fusion of the two. I like how it, how they used to be back in the day with the roughnecks and the sweet girl. And I feel like I just bring that,
How does it feel being like the go-to person for that? Because you have records like Big Sean, Russ, Jeezy, Benny. Like,
how's it feel? I mean, it feel good. I feel like, how Tupac used to have those records and a girl used to be on there just singing?
yeah.
I feel like if I was back in the day, that would be me. So I feel like, it feels good.
Right.
I'd be wondering, I'm like, what do y'all see? Why do y'all want my voice to be on there? Like, because I'm not even like that. Really. But,
But you get raunchy with it though too, like little cuss
Do
words
I?
in the first verse and all that
And the
stuff.
crazy thing is I used to never want to cuss in my songs. Because, I grew up a church girl. So I tried to not. At some point, I want to cross over and do gospel, I want to do a gospel. And I be trying to not bring myself too far away. But sometimes you got to just, it sounds good, like the curse. It sounds a little bit more edgier, so. But I don't curse like when I'm talking.
Right. But I know you love them samples too. Because like on the record with you and Lil Durk Lie to Me, you sampled the DeBarge that, Tupac made famous too. Like what is it about them samples that you really enjoy?
I just enjoy taking older music that was so good and just like turning it into something new and modern. And people get on my nerves when they comment like, oh, it's another sample. Like, and people just don't understand that even the greats sampled. Like when I listen to old school music and I'm thinking they the first to do it, you go back and they sampled somebody. So it's nothing new under the sun. Like, but I do feel like, it seems like the songs that are more known of mine are samples. And probably because it's just so familiar to people and they're the ones that make it bigger. So they obviously like it.
Doing something right.
Yeah.
When you started impacting on YouTube, did you see that bridge of how that's going to help you with your career to take off? Like,
I didn't see it.
yeah,
I didn't see it because back then, it's like I did make music and I did record music, but it was like with him. And everything was branded under our name. It was never my own name. So I didn't see how that would work. But once I did start my channel and I got tired of explaining myself, I just made a song out of the situation, Medicine.
yeah.
And I really didn't think it was going to do what it did, but it did. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Like on Self Love, you had this lyric, you say you try to please everybody around me, it'll consume my days. Has that really been a struggle for you? Just trying to...
I'm a people pleaser. And that's not just in relationships. That's with family and with friends and with everybody around me. Just trying to make everybody happy to the point where like I don't have nothing left for myself. And it's very hard trying to make everybody happy. And I've struggled with that since I was a little girl. I feel like even in school, like growing up, just trying to just.
Right.
But even now, I still struggle with that. But I'm getting better.
Yeah, you did say on Twitter, you said you did a lot of self-work this year.
I did.
And it's going to pay off next year. What are some of the things you improved on?
Saying no. It's very hard for me to say no. And I'm a Libra, so I really don't like confrontation, but I've learned to have those hard conversations because it's needed. I went to therapy, and it helped me just like talk about what I need to talk about. So I can do that also with like other people that I love, have those hard conversations. And, you know, if that person ends up not being in my life no more, then that's what was meant or whatever. But you got to have them.
Right.
Yeah. That reminds me of your song Words of Affirmation. Very powerful record. Like what motivated that?
Because words of affirmation is my love language. It's my top love language. I noticed that like gifts are nice and everything. I like gifts, but it's nothing like, and touch is nice too, but that's probably my second, but it's nothing like when hearing a man tell you how beautiful you are, or like how proud they are of you. The man you love, of course, the man that I love. And so I was just, it's okay to like request or demand how you want to be loved. Just like it's okay for a man to do it as well, you know, because we're all loved differently. And we all give love differently. So that song was really me just expressing what I would like in my man, pretty much.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs is Taboo with Eric Bellinger, man.
Eric B.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like for some reason when I heard it, it gave me that same feeling that when I first heard Marsha and Brose's Far Away. The way
Oh yeah, it was so, honestly, I think that's the most different record I ever done. And I was scared to do that because I was like, this belongs to Victoria Monet, not me. But it turned out really great. That song was something because I know that don't really fit the After the Butterflies thing. That was more so about me exploring the idea of cheating or having like a sneaky link, because I'm always the one being cheated on. So, you know, I wanted to just make a song about how it possibly would feel to cheat. But I don't think that would feel good, to be honest. I don't think I would live with myself.
But it's funny you mentioned Victoria Monet. Like, you're not afraid to show love to other women. Like, I saw you said that her album is the Tito.
Oh yeah, I was listening to her album for days after it came out, for weeks actually. I'm not afraid to give women love, even if they don't show me love back. That's fine because when I give love, it's like genuine and it's like I don't really expect nothing back in return.
How did you connect with LMA on that note for the project?
Me and LMA been connected for some years now. I think I don't know, I forgot where we met, but we've always like had each other's numbers. So anytime I would run across a record I thought she would fit, I would send it to her and see if she liked it. And obviously this is the one that she liked the most, so she got on it. But that's probably because of the West Coast vibe. Yeah.
I know you love Beyonce. I saw that you went to her show. You said you left speechless.
Oh yeah.
You said I never experienced something like that in my life.
I haven't. That show was honestly, I don't think I'll ever be able to get to that. That was crazy. Like, that's some crazy stuff I've seen. Like, you know how you go to a show and just like, you're looking at just the stage. Like, you were looking at everything around you. Like, it was crazy. Everything was so big. It was just humongous. And I don't see how she got up there for that long and did that, because that couldn't be me. That's why I said that's why she's Beyonce.
Well, are you planning on touring for this project?
I do. I plan on touring. I got to get some things together first.
Okay.
I got to get my show together because I always like to elevate. And I did two of my own shows, headline. They were all sold out. And then my first arena tour was Mary J. Blige. And so now it's time to elevate my show and switch it up a little bit.
What was that experience like touring with Mary?
Oh, it was amazing. I love being an opener. Get
to your seat. Get to your seat.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I mean, it was in the building for me.
Okay.
You know, there was an arena early.
Wait, so why do you love being an opener? People feel like that's a challenge to, you know.
I mean, it is a challenge because you got to open up the show and like start it off and get the vibes going. And I did. I got them going. But like, it was also like my set was shorter and I was fine with that because it was less pressure on me. And it was just a little sample of the experience of the arena.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm not scared of arenas anymore. So
Because it's so big, I guess, was the initial thought.
And then at the end of the tour, of course, they had like a little after party, and I sat with Mary and spoke to her about some things. And I was happy that we got to like chop it up, and she dropped some gems on me and stuff like that.
What was it like connecting with Babyface?
It was dope. It was super dope connecting with him. I don't know why I just giggled like that, but I remember the first time we met, I went to a studio in LA. And he was just sitting there all quiet, and I was like nervous. But that actually wasn't the song that I did on his album. That wasn't supposed to be the song that we started on. I mean, that wasn't the song that we started on. And we ended up doing something totally different. But he was very open. Like he didn't try to control the song or the situation. Like he really allowed me to do my thing. Because I even changed the production up on the beat, and it was dope working with a legend.
Yeah. What do you think about your music is makes you distinctive in the landscape of this R&B? Because not a lot of attention's being put to it now, right? SZA's doing well. There's a lot of Grammy noms out there. Like, what's your approach? You think it makes your music distinctive in that landscape?
That's a very broad question. People always say like, what makes you unique? Actually, I don't know. If I could be really honest with you guys, I don't know what makes it distinct.
Your honesty.
That's really my honesty. Like, I don't know what makes it distinct. I just go in and I do whatever is on my heart, or, you know, and I love those pretty melodies. So a lot of times I don't just have them pull up beats. We make beats from scratch.
Wow.
Okay.
So like out here, okay, maybe this is the answer. So I hear a melody in my head, maybe on a plane or like really late at night, in the middle of the night. I'll hear like a melody in the shower, and I just love the melody. And then I'll go in and I'll hum the melody to them, and then they'll play it on the piano. And then after that, I start beating on the table with a pencil, and I tell them, okay. And I tell them like, you know, I want it this way, and then they'll go through different instruments. I may not know the sound, the name of the instrument, but I'll try to make the sound. It sounds funny coming from my mouth, but like it's just a whole creative process, not just from, everything is like from scratch with me. And there are very few songs that I've taken
just as is, kind of thing.
As is. And even if I did, I had to make it mine. So
you're a producer.
Yeah.
Basically,
I don't, I don't push the buttons, but I am a producer, and maybe one day I'll learn how to do that. But I don't know I heard they get a lot of money though. But
that EP looks good though. Executive producer looks fire.
Yeah, that's fire. But I guess
but you have to have a vision in place, is what you're saying. Like, you're not just people sending you tracks, you're just singing on them.
Yeah, so I don't know if that makes it distinctive, because I'm sure maybe other people do it too, you know? But I feel like when people hear my voice, they know it's me. I will say that.
Absolutely.
So maybe my voice is distinctive. Because even when like I was trying to be so low in New York, and I was just talking, and people knew it was me. I had on a mask and everything.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, oh, I knew it was you. Because I started talking. I'm like, I don't know how they know my voice, but yeah.
But I think your writing is also a strong suit. How did you develop that?
I've been writing since I was a little kid. So like I used to, probably was like 6 or 7, and I used to be in my room beating on a windowsill and making up songs about love, like since I was little. And then when I was in 3rd grade, instead of playing like on swings and at recess, I used to have like 3 girls come under the little thing where like our voice can echo. The little, what is it called? Pavilion or whatever. Our voices would echo, and I would go home and make up songs for us all to sing together like we was like Destiny Child or something. But I've been writing songs really about love since I was little, and that's funny.
Wow. And do you like the idea of giving other people songs or just keeping everything for yourself?
I thought about that, but I'm kind of stingy. Like if I write a song, I wanna sing. I want my voice to be on it. I mean, there are a few songs actually that I wrote that are maybe someone else would sound better singing it. Like I have like a country kind of song, and I have this like pop rock song that if I put that out myself, they're gonna be like, "Girl, what is you doing?" Like, so it would be nice to give it to someone else, but maybe I haven't like got to that point yet. I'm still trying to work on myself, and so yeah. And
what's going on with you trying to take us out, man? You started your own podcast. What's going on?
Oh, Queen? I'm not trying to take y'all out. It was an accident. It was an accident, to be honest. So when I left YouTube, I left so many people. Like my subscribers are still there. I still have 5 million plus subscribers.
Wow. Just sitting there.
They never left me.
Sitting there.
And I felt like, dang, that's really bold, like for me to leave them behind, you know? But I didn't want to go back to YouTube doing pranks or challenges or any of the things that I used to do when I was younger, because that's not me anymore. And that's out of style now. Like no one does that anymore. So I wanted to find a way to go back to YouTube in a more like mature way, where like they could maybe hear my voice and my perspective of things more. And so I brought my best friend on so it could be more like a chit chat girl talk thing. But I don't know why I called it a podcast, because once I called it a podcast, people start running with it. And now it's a podcast, like, you know, and now we're about to get like a podcast trainer, and like I'm like, oh, this is getting serious, and people already reached out to like buy it. Wow. And it's not even like, but I ain't trying to do that. Like I just want to wait and I guess work on it, because we don't even know. We got to speak on topics that's trending and stuff. I don't really know how to do that. We just talk about girl talk. So,
but it's a balancing act, because you're a singer now, you're a podcaster, but you're also a mom.
Yes,
right.
That's a full-time job.
The realest job out here, right?
Like you even said, you just can't get up and tour without feeling guilty because of the kids. Like, how have you been able to balance
tough. that? Man, my last tour, when I went on the Mary J tour, that was the first time I ever left my kids at home, and I was boohoo crying.
Wow.
Like, I was so sad. I didn't want to leave them but you know, they're in school, so they got to go to school. But there was a time when I was pregnant on my first tour. I was like 8 months pregnant, and I had my 3-year-old with me, and I didn't care. Like, I didn't care. I would bring them if I could, but they got to go to school. So it's really I'm gonna try to tour like at a time where they're not in school, maybe like summer. But I really like the fall tours. But it's a lot, because they're getting older now, and now they realize like when I'm not there, and I don't want them to grow up saying, you know, mama didn't raise me, the babysitter did, or the nanny did. Like, I want to raise my kids, so that makes it very tough.
Yeah. Is your oldest son a fan of the music? Is he tapped in?
Yeah. CJ, he is. And like, my youngest
8 and 4, right?
8 and 4. Okay. They're about to be 5 and 9.
Oh, wow.
Really soon. January and February.
Yeah.
But yeah, they know it. I think my youngest son is gonna be a producer or like a singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got the bug in him already?
Yeah. He's very smart, my youngest, and like it's so weird, because I'll do it on purpose. I'll like go up the scales of singing, and like if I do the wrong key, he'll be like, no, like that's not the right one. He knows his keys, like, and he'll keep restarting something if he's just really gifted when it comes to music.
Me too.
Dope.
Yeah, I think that's something you said in the podcast about how I think it went viral a little bit about how it's different if you're a parent, you have kids, like women that are single have way more freedom to do certain things, and you have so much responsibility to balance those things out.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said it. I said I envy women a little bit with no kids. But you know, sometimes they envy us because we have kids, and sometimes you want what you can't have at the moment, or what you don't have, not can't. But yeah, it's very hard. Like I've never really gotten a chance to know myself, so I'm still trying to learn myself because I've spent my 20s having kids.
Yeah.
So.
How challenging is that to share so much of your life to the world?
It's not as challenging. I'm like an open book. I have to really watch myself with oversharing stuff, even when it comes to talking to strangers sometimes. Like, you get into a good conversation, you start just oversharing.
True.
So I've always been a person that talks a lot and like tell my business a lot, and I really need to slow down with doing that. But it's not a challenge. But I think what the most challenging part is like when you tell your business and then people come back with all of these opinions about it, or like what their theories of what may have happened. Because even though I tell my business, sometimes I don't tell everything.
Right. Yeah.
So sometimes people will come with what they think really happened, and then I want to say so bad what really happened, but like I can't, because I can't overshare or whatever. So that's probably the most challenging thing, is when you want to correct something, but like it's none of their business anyway.
Right.
What's your take on a new generation where it seems like, you know, you broke through social media, but it seems like we have a no generation now that want to be famous and they want to be streamers. They want to kind of break through that way. Like, is that concerning? Like that so much is influenced by that culture?
My son wants to be a streamer. My oldest son.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's okay. You know, it could be toxic, because a lot of the things that, like, for my child, like, I really don't want him to see a lot of things that happen on social media. But it's too late. He already seen it. But I think it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
I think that for singers like me, it's tough, because sometimes I don't want to get on TikTok and dance. Or sometimes I want to what if I just want to make a song that's like a little slower pace?
10 minutes. That's 10 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
but it don't go viral on TikTok because it's slower pace or it's not trendy. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm not that kind of artist. Like, that's why it do take me a long time to drop, which I'm gonna work on that. But like, I want my stuff to be perfected and like mean something. And nowadays everything is like microwave, and my stuff be baking in the oven. You know, but I think it is challenging when it comes to like, because the labels also like
they want that
nowadays
pressure,
they don't take an artist from ground up. You already have to have a platform, and then they'll take you from like maybe that level to you got to meet them in the middle now. So it's like, even with me leaving YouTube, and actually even YouTube, people don't watch long-winded videos anymore. They want TikTok and
quick shorts and reels.
So now I have to like that. I'm even learning something new in that. Like, it's very hard for me to not just do a vlog, like a long-winded, and I have to put everything in like 30 seconds. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I have trouble doing that. I'm trying to work on it.
But it's interesting because it's like you mentioned, you have like 5 million subscribers on your YouTube page. By I guess a label standard, you're developed, but you still like have this kind of like development stage that you're going through at this particular time.
Yeah, I have to learn new stuff every day with the social media and everything like that. They be on me about doing content, but like, I be wanting to enjoy my stuff. I have to record. I have to make sure I take my phone out and record everything. Like, if I go to a spa, I have to do a self-love spa and put my song on there and like put self-love on the music on there. But I have to, before I lay down and get a back massage, I got to record the bed and like set up I think it's real funny, like, when I see people setting up the camera and then they go walk past it. Like, or they set up the camera and like turn on the shower. Like, I've done it before because it's what you got to do. But I think it's just crazy what the world come to. Yeah. It is cringe. It's cringe.
But just on the artist side, like, 'cause we looked it up, your certification game is pretty strong here. You got a lot of platinums, a lot of golds. Like,
I'm plaqued up.
But I get you saying like you don't. But it seemed like even with the song with Big Sean, it doesn't feel like you're chasing hits or trying to like heavy-handedly force a hit.
I don't chase them. I almost got to that point where I was trying to chase a hit, and that's when I lose passion. I just like, I remember I had an A&R named Jeff, and when he was like really trying to get me to, create the, urban music. Cause it's true. If you get a #1 on urban, it like changes the trajectory of like your career.
Yeah.
And I have been very close, but I haven't got a #1 on urban yet. But I'm not an urban artist. I'm not an urban artist. Like, I'm an R&B artist. Like I have to compete with so many rappers and so many popular singers that like, I don't think I'm the most popular singer. Like maybe on social media, I'm a little bit more, but when it comes to other artists, like my peers, I'm not the most popular. So whoever is the most popular, their song is probably going to get to number one quicker than mine. And I just forgot the question. What was your question?
No, not chasing hits.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm not chasing that. But when I tried to for a minute, and I lost passion.
Yep.
And then I didn't like the music.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you feel like there's two worlds, like the YouTube world, the social media world, and like the traditional world, like with people having traditional 9-to-5s? Like, do you feel like it's a divide?
Yeah, I think it is. It's definitely a division there. And I feel like also people that work 9-to-5s or regular people sometimes look at us differently or like as maybe more privileged or whatever, because we're like in the spotlight. And so we don't get to have regular emotions or feelings, or we don't get to express it because we should be grateful that we have. Who told me that? I think I was with Kendra G on my album release day, and she was like, if it helps, regular people don't look at us as like regular. That's why when we express ourselves about certain things, they tell us to just kind of shut up and deal with it because you're a celebrity or you know, or you're known. And I guess anyone that has their life on social media, they're looked at as like on a pedestal. And sometimes people on social media lives is not even there yet, you know?
But even as far as audience retention, like, do you feel like the YouTube fan of Queen Naija is the same fan that listens to your music?
Maybe. There are some people that say that they only know my music, and they caught me right when I, medicine, and they don't know my YouTube stuff.
Yeah, that's me.
And then there are some people that have been with me from ground up. Like when I first, even before YouTube, and those people, they're more likely they know my music as well, because they probably follow everything.
Yeah.
Right. I know you've been following this artist for a long time, A. Marie.
Oh yeah, I love her.
Have you finally met her?
I met her over the phone.
Oh.
She was supposed to come on my podcast, and she probably will still come, but it was something going on with our babies. We're moms first. So.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait to meet her though, but we talked a lot about other things besides music on the phone. I think she talked to me about a holistic doctor for my kids, and she has a book club and everything on YouTube. So I'm like, girl, you could teach me some stuff outside. But yeah, I met her and I told her if she ever wants to, do some music stuff, and we could do it. I think that would be another full circle moment for me.
Yeah.
What was about A. Marie that you gravitated to when you were younger?
When I was little?
Yeah.
First of all, I just thought she was so pretty. Like, I used to watch 106 in Park and all the shows a lot. And she would come on a lot with her hit records and stuff like that. And I just wanted to be her. And I wanted to look like her when I grew up. As a little girl, I don't know why, but I always wanted to grow up faster than my time. I couldn't wait to grow up. And so, like, just looking at her, that's the woman that I wanted to be like. She's the one that made me want to be in the music videos. And she just had such a unique sound back then. So.
She was
that
on the
whole
vision board.
Fake Love that so many bands I'm running through is like kind of a little nod to her.
Oh
right?
yeah, I did that that was like homage, it's paying homage to her.
Yeah.
Right.
Some people are like, why didn't you just come up with your own? But I did that on purpose. Like,
Yeah, nah, for real.
yeah.
Are the people still blaming Queen Naija, or are they over it?
I think people are over it now.
Okay.
I think the reason why they're over is because like I indulged in it too much, and it was like, oh, joke is over it. She's like onto it. At first, when I used to let it bother me, they kept doing it because it was funny, but I don't really care no more. So there's nothing to really. I mean, I've seen people still do it, but like very few.
Yeah, you pulled the 8 Mile on them, like you owned it.
Yeah, it was so stupid. It was like one of the stupidest things ever. I don't even understand how that came about.
Word. It's 2024, so we get the album 2024. What's the future hold? What's next, Queen?
Should I overshare? Maybe.
Yes,
why not?
It's the Rap Radio podcast. Come on,
Jinx.
I don't know. before I start creating more music, there's something I want to do first to like change or expand on like my team. And I want to get that right first before I start. So hopefully if that goes well, then I mean it's gonna go well. But
there you go.
Yeah, it's gonna go well. Not hopefully, it will. Then I could start doing music and working with so do you guys know who No ID is, right?
Never heard of him.
Dion.
Love No ID.
Love Dion. He's actually gonna start helping me with my next.
Oh, that's dope.
Wow.
That's
and he
dope.
actually signed me to Capitol when I first got signed.
wow.
He's the reason why I went there and signed.
Oh, wow.
So I'm really looking forward to working with him a lot. And, you know, bringing me, because one thing about him, man, he made me trash my whole first album. He didn't make me, but like my whole first album.
He's a tough critic.
Like he, you know, and the music was, and I now understand, I look back like, dang, I'm so glad that I listened or whatever. I mean, he didn't tell me to do it. I don't want nobody to think he made me do it, but from the feedback that I got on the first batch of songs, it was more so about the like production of, you know, production, not my music or anything like that, or what I wrote about. But I take his opinion very very seriously, obviously. So I'll be glad to work with him on some new music and for him to connect me with the people I should be connected with when it comes to like other artists I should be working with or producers or anything. So that's next.
That's dope.
Looking forward to that.
Super hip hop, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
We haven't really got nothing from No ID since like 444 on a prominent level like that.
Yeah.
So
I know he works with Snow a lot too. Snow Allegra.
oh, well, definitely.
I love her.
Yeah.
So yeah, that, and then also just outside of music, becoming more and more of like a businesswoman. And
A clothing line, right?
I don't want to call it a clothing line.
Okay.
Apparel.
Yeah, like it's more so like cozy, comfy. Cause I'm big. I don't like wearing heels. Like I like to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable, but also cute. So that's what my
comfy, cozy.
Comfy and cozy. That's what's gonna be based around, like loungy, not lingerie or anything like that, but just super comfortable. And I gotta find that uniqueness though, because anyone can have a lounge line. So working on that too.
We appreciate you taking the time.
Meantime, after
Shopping
the
it
butterflies though, man.
Stream that, y'all.
You said buy it too. I said,
Buy it.
Go to that iTunes.
Someone told me I really need to, I hate this word train, but like encourage my supporters to, if you really support me, then buy it, like we take $10 all the time and go buy a combo meal or like spend it on throw it at something. Like if something that you really support or want to listen to, purchase.
Stream it and buy it.
Stream and buy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Queen.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Rap Radar Podcast.
Yeah.